welcome to this week's episode of Bob's Live, our weekly show right here on the internet. And well, this week I have quite a show for us. What we're going to be doing is taking a look at some of the basket mixes that we're growing for this spring. So, right now, they're all little cuttings that are about this tall, but thanks to stock photography, we can take a look at what they're going to look like. So I've got some of the old varieties in there that were popular, and then also some of the new upcoming varieties for 2025 that you haven't seen yet. But first, I thought we would take a look at the weather because it is blooming cold outside. Right now, here in Mason, it is about 18 degrees out. It says that it feels like 5 degrees. And that is kind of the high for right now. So, let me find it here. So tonight we're going to get down to around negative 11. And then Wednesday, we're looking at a high of 19 degrees. So right now is about the same as what the high is going to be tomorrow. And then tomorrow night's low is 8 degrees. And then we warm up to a balmy 32 on Thursday with again a low of 17. So toward the end of the week, we are going to get a little bit warmer. So we do have that to look forward to. But anyhow, these cold days, you might be thinking about us growing plants here in Mason and what we do. So, of course, we use natural gas to heat with, and with this weather, we are using quite a bit. But in our newer greenhouses, we do have systems that are designed to be more energy efficient. And I thought I would show you a little bit of that in tonight's video. So let's jump right into that, and we'll go ahead up to our newest greenhouse in behind Dollar General up the upper end of Mason to show you a cold evening up there, which, thanks to the magic of video, was yesterday evening. Hey, John Morgan up here in the greenhouse on a very cold evening. And what I'm doing is programming some lights. So we can program our lights and set them to turn on and off on a specific schedule. But the cool thing is, to save electricity, we can even turn different lights on and off all the way down to the individual fixture. So that's what I'm doing right now. It's actually all controlled just by a tablet. So yeah, setting up some lights. So instead of turning on this entire bay of lights, where we just have this little block of plants here at the end, what I can do is set it up just so the 4 light fixtures above those plants turns on. So that way we are saving a ton of electricity. So the other thing that I can do for testing purposes is manually control a bay. So I just turned on this bay. And for some reason, a couple seconds ago, that light kicked on. So I'm going to test that out. But if I hit that again, yep, those turned off. Now let me jump over to bay 2, which is that light. If I turn it on, that's everything on. And now we should go off. So I've got some troubleshooting to do. The last time I was up here, the ferns had just been transplanted to hanging baskets.
And now they're getting ready to be moved to their final locations where they'll finish growing until springtime. Right now it is a toasty 12 degrees outside. And the way that we heat this greenhouse is with hot water. We have a natural gas boiler that we use to heat up water and then pump it through the floor. The water comes out of the boiler room up there, goes along these two headers, and then feeds down into the different zones, and then you can see all the individual pipes running down into the floor to heat the greenhouse. It's much more energy efficient to heat up a huge slab of concrete and let it slowly radiate heat out into the room. But if it does get extremely cold out, we do have forced air heaters that kind of kick one as a stage 2. And well, it was kind of sunny out this afternoon, so that helped with our heating. And right now you'll notice these heaters aren't running. So that's a quick look at what we have growing here on a very, very cold winter evening. Ooh, yeah, it's cold. Very cold.
Okay, so the thing that I kind of didn't explain well in the video is that on sunny days, we're capturing energy from the sun. So that helps with our heating, even when it's like 10, 12 degrees outside. We're still capturing energy from the sun. So that's kind of what I was getting at there at the end of the video, is that the overhead heating really wasn't kicking on and off that much because we still had trapped energy from the sun. Now, over the course of the night, as that bleeds off into the environment, we've got to kick on the heat. One of the things that we do up there, too, is the curtains up above that we normally use to block out sunlight when it's really bright out. One of the things that we do is we pull those curtains, and that helps reflect the heat back into the greenhouse. So it acts as another layer of insulation. So up next, I thought we would take a look at some of the upcoming basket combinations for 2025. So these are your larger, like 12 and 14-inch baskets, and also what we call our deco pots, our decorator pots, which are a little bit fancier basket, and also like patio containers. Most of those we buy in as a pre-made mix from a breeder. So usually it's a 3-plant combo. Some of them are 2 plants. But usually they're like a 3-plant combo, and we basically follow a recipe. So they send us the plants as unrooted cuttings. We stick them in soil, grow roots on them, and then transplant them into containers. And then as they grow, the plants sort of intermingle, so you get that pretty bouquet of flowers look in a mixed container. So let me jump in and show you what I'm talking about. And the first one I'm going to start with is, these are a variety called Durabella. And this one is Desert Shadow. And it was new last year. I'm not sure if it's new to us or not. I forgot to go back and look at last year's records to see if we sold this one last year. But yeah, this kind of gives you an idea of how you've got 3 different plants. You can see the 3 different colors there. It has 3 different types of Calibrachoa. Leah Blue, which is that purpley color. Iconic Peach, which is the kind of peachy color with the red center, so it's got an eye in the center. And then Leah Dark Red, which obviously is the dark red there. And I keep pointing up that way because the monitor that I'm looking at is off to my side. But yeah, all of the combination baskets are usually 3 plant combos. It all doesn't have to be, this is all Calibrachoas. It all doesn't have to be Calibrachoas. So we can mix in different plants to get different effects. Sometimes you might want a plant that drapes down over the side and one that's tall. You know, you get that filler, thriller, and spiller aspect. Um, but I think this one is going to be a popular one this year. Up next, I have another Durabella, and this one we did grow last year, and it was very popular. It is called, oop, there we go, Blue Hawaiian. And again, it has Leah Blue. Instead of the dark red, it has a variety called Leah Cranberry, and then also yellow. So you get a blue, red, and yellow combo. And that's another aspect of these combinations, is trying to hit different color palettes, because, you know, everybody has different tastes and there's always different trends in colors and decorating. And we want to try to match that as best as possible, but also offer something for everybody. So we try to do kind of complementary colors. We might do like a blue combination where it's all just different shades of blue, different shades of pink, red, etc. And then we try to do dark and light. So you're going to see a little bit of that going through these examples. Up next, we have a new variety for 2025 that's not only new to Bob's, it is new to everybody. So this one is a variety called Skies Above. And it has a Calibrachoa Leah Sky Blue, Skies Above, blue, and then yellow improved. So you get kind of that sky blue and then a yellow, a little bit of sunshine mixed in there. I think it's just a beautiful combination. This next one, I have a very specific customer set in mind, and you're going to know as soon as I flip over to it. This one, it is called, and you'll never guess the color, so I'm going to name the name before I go to it. It is called King of Rock and Roll. Oh, yeah. But I think our Wahama fans are going to like this one. It is a red and white mix. So you have Cascade Chili Red, and then Petunia Amore King of Hearts. And then this one, you do have, those are both 2 Calibrachoas. Or no, you've got a Petunia. I need to read better. You've got 2 Petunias, and then a Bacopa, which has kind of smaller blooms, so you get that little pop of color. But it's Bacopa, Scopia, Gulliver, White. And some of these names just roll right off the tongue. But again, I think this one is going to be very popular with our Wahama fans. And I don't know, also maybe a little bit of a Ohio State. So, yeah, some Buckeye fans in there too. The next one, if this was one that kind of fits into that one color range, so kind of the pink purpley, this one is Malaga Wine. And this one, you again have 3 different types of flowers. So you've got a Petunia, a Calibrachoa, and a Verbena. So you have Petunia, Capella Mulberry, Calibrachoa Ombre Purple, and Verbena, Vanessa Optic Grape. One of the things that I do is print up the labels for these. Plant breeders, we can only fit so much on a label. It is always fun trying to abbreviate these so they fit. But again, you know, this was new last year. I'm not sure if it's new to us, but I don't think I've ever seen it before. And then Up next, we have another popular one. And it was new last year. But it is called Chalk Art. And it's another one of those where you get a nice variety of colors. And you've got the purple, the pink, and then the yellow. So it's just kind of bright and sunny. And then finally, in the Durabella series, we have a new one that is called Bumbleberry Jam. And this is a new for 2025 color. And you've kind of got that dark purple in there, but it brings out the light pink more. So, again, it's depending on what colors you're looking for. And then we also have some varieties that have more white in them. For this next batch, we're going to go from, this is all Durabella series. Now we're going to go to a series called Quick Combo. So we purchase from a few different suppliers when we're looking at our combinations. So these Quick Combos, it's a different breeder, so of course the slides are going to look a little bit different. But up first, this is a new one. It's called Quick Combo Deco Salute. And I think you can guess why it's called Salute. We've got red, white, and blue there. So we always try to carry a mix that has red, white, and blue. And you might be looking at that saying, I know my colors. That's not blue. That's purple. We really can't get a dark kind of navy, like American flag blue. So the closest we can get is with a dark purple like that. So Deco Salute Mix. That'll be the one to look for if you want to do a nice patriotic mix. Looks great on your front porch, especially, you know, going into like 4th of July in the summertime. Hopefully this is kind of helping you to think of warmer days ahead too. The next one that we have is one that we grew last year, and it is a very popular variety that we grew, or popular mix that we grew. This one is Quick Combo Mermaid Tails Mix. And again, it's one of those purpley pink combinations. Kind of keeping with the ocean theme. Up next, I have another one that was also really popular last year, but it kind of goes a little bit brighter. And that is Beach Bum, which I just love the name of it. But you've got kind of the pink in there, but you also have the yellow working its way in, which it looks very corally, beachy, sunny. All of those things I would use to describe it. To me, it's just a nice, beautiful sunset at the beach. This next one, this one trends more in the lighter colors. And this one is Quick Combo Spring Breeze. So you're bringing in some of the white there. This one doesn't have a variety breakdown, but I think that's some sort of verbena maybe. It's kind of hard to tell from the picture. And then finally, I have one that is Quick Combo. It's new this year, and it is Blueberry Blast. So again, it's one of those that brings out a lot of white and kind of lightens it up and makes it have, you know, more of a bright punch to it. So that's a quick look at some of our different varieties that we're going to be growing in 2025. And of course, that I just picked out, let's see, I think 12 of them. Yeah, 12 of our combos. We're growing like, I think around 25, 30 different combinations. So I just barely scratched the surface there on the different varieties that we're growing this year. So all of these end up in large, ready-to-go containers. And the great thing is you can buy the hanging baskets, hang them up. They look great on their own. But another thing that you can do with these combos is if you have a large container of your own, you can buy it, pop it out of the container, transplant it in, and you have a ready-made mixed container. So it's a great option. Also, if you have a smaller landscape bed, so out in my front yard, pulling into my driveway, I have a little, it's like a 4 foot by 6 foot bed, and a couple of these in it with some other plants around it, it fills out that bed just instantly. So that makes a great option if you want something that looks finished, like right from the start. So this week on our blog, I'm going to be going a little bit more in depth with this and covering some other basket combinations that we're going to be having going into 2025. And of course, as things start growing and start blooming out in the greenhouse, follow along here because I'll be having video from out in the greenhouse as these start to fill out and get transplanted and start blooming later on in January, February, March, April. I'll be covering that here in video form. You can check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for photos. And so on our blog this week on Friday, if you go to bobsmarket.com/blog or Bob's blog, I forget how it's, I think it's /blog. It's just /blog. Okay. Yeah. But anyhow, if you go there, I'm going to be going a little bit more in depth into talking about our combo baskets, how we make them, and some of the great varieties that we're going to be having going into 2025. And that is all that I have for this week's episode. And of course, until next time, keep growing.